Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. And today we are doing a lovely, juicy reading on what would your person say if they drunk dialed you. So I really like this topic for a lot of reasons. It's casual and it's fun, but also if you think about it, if somebody was to drunk dial you, then I feel like their id would be on full display. So it would just be like, you know, whatever they wanted to say to you, they probably most likely would say to you in that situation. So I just feel like this is a good topic. It's fun and we can get a lot of juicy information for you. So I've got 3 piles here. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. I will put the picture up so you can meditate, be drawn to your pile, or maybe you're drawn to more than one, and I will see you at your reading. So pile number 1, what would this person say if they drunk dialed you? Okay, so first of all, I feel like this person would be out at like a bar or like a bar and grill, something like that. It feels like it's kind of like a light night. It's not like a nightclub or anything where there's a lot of craziness going on, and I don't feel like this person is at their house. I also feel like this person could potentially be hanging out with people that you mutually know. And it's almost that this person may stay in contact with these people or like be excited that they saw them out, like if this was just an accident, or like they went to this like reunion or group meetup or something like that, hoping that you would be there because maybe they knew that some of your friends were going to be there, something here like that. And so I feel like this person's very hopeful that they're going to see you out here at this event, but I'm kind of getting that you're not in the same location. So that could either be like the same, you know, bar, the same city or town, but some of you, I feel like you've moved long distance, you know, take that however it's resonating for you. So this person is kind of almost like hopeful and expecting you to show up and walk in, but then I feel like whenever you don't, then and as this person drinks like a little bit more, then they start to kind of bring you up in conversation and try to like maybe ask your friends about you, something like that. And eventually that's when this person kind of separates themselves in order to call you, because I feel like they finally get the courage to. So if this person already has your number in their phone, then I feel like they just kind of take it upon themselves to call you. And if they don't have your number, then I feel like they could potentially grab one of your friends' phones and call you, but just kind of like work it into the conversation and like make a big like crescendo moment out of like whatever it is. Like, oh, we're all just gonna call you and bother you and tell you how much we love you. But there's very much a group vibe here to this, and it is almost like this person is using the group and the group's connection with you, like your friend's connection with you, to call you like as a reason or like a mask almost, you know, to like call you and actually have this kind of like drunk jesty kind of like a conversation here with you. But this person was really hoping that you were going to show up at whatever this was, so that potentially they could try to get you alone and then like have a more of like a conversation, because this person just feels more comfortable talking to you, I think, like in a social setting for sure, but then maybe after they've had like a drink or two. Not that this person wants to get like sloppy drunk or anything like that. It's just for some of you, I actually think this person is really social and very charismatic, but there is something here about like their sun energy, like their ego space, and I mean ego as like in terms of their personality, like they want to come off a certain way to you, and I feel like that prohibits them from talking to you as freely as they would like to talk to you. And for others of you, it's their position, where this person could potentially have a leadership position here within a group, whether that's a social leadership position and they just like, they're so cool, you know. And it even could be that this person, I'm hearing the song Mercy from Shawn Mendes, where it's like, I stand 100 feet but I fall when I'm around you. So it could even be that this person's very social, maybe maybe even very like flirty, very sexual, and doesn't have a problem talking with other people. But because this person likes you so much, I mean, you're showing up here as the Lovers and the Nine of Cups, like the wish fulfillment card. This person really, really likes you. So they could still just kind of clam up, but I think that's their plan overall. So when this person drunk dials you, I feel like you can hear like some music or something in the background, but this person is like conversation and music, and this person is actually conscious of that and aware. I don't feel like this person's sloppy drunk by any means. And they may be the type of person that doesn't really get sloppy drunk because, again, there's this strong like ego kind of an energy. But take that how it resonates, because I feel like this person really could use a break from their ego, and maybe some of them do use like alcohol or something in order to like turn that off for a second. But I feel like you can kind of hear music or conversation, the loudness in the background, but this person's kind of like moving away from that space. And this person's really high energy. Like whenever they first talk to you, they're like, hey, oh my gosh, like how's it been? You know, like it's very, very friendly. And I feel like, you know, I'm kind of getting that even though there's feelings here, there's like crushy feelings here. And I think it goes both ways. Obviously you're here at this reading, you know, but even though there's this crushy feeling between the two of you, it feels like this has still been like very friendly. You know, it hasn't actually moved to the crush territory, but this person feels like maybe potentially they could if they could just like get you alone or get to hang out with you. But like I said, I think this person's preference is to hang out with you in a social setting first. So they would definitely be like, hey, you know, how have you been? Ba, ba, ba. And I'm kind of getting that you might be in bed or like, I don't know. I feel like you've been having a lot on your plate, having a lot on your mind, something like that. But it feels like there's a deadline to it for me. So I don't know. It's like kind of the feeling of like back in college, like having finals week, or maybe it's like the end of a quarter at work. And so you know that you have to like really turn it up, you know, or it's a busy season or something. And it feels like you're trying to kind of work your way through something here. But you're still like very kind and warm. And this person is, I feel like they would be trying to get you out, to be honest. They'd be like, where are you? Like, come hang out. If you're just in like a different city, but it's like still kind of a nearby city to wherever it is that they are, they would be like, where are you? You know, hey, like, I thought you were going to be here. Like, you know, blah, 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 blah. What, you too good to hang out with us? You know, all of that kind of stuff. They would very much be in like joking with you and playing with you, but also trying to get answers, like what it is that you are up to, where it is that you've been, maybe trying to see if you're already with somebody else, or, you know, they're just trying to kind of gauge your reaction to them. And I feel like that's why this person prefers to hang out with you in group settings, because they're trying to just gauge your reaction to them. Overall, I kind of want to say that some of you have had some kind of recent independence, either from like a job. So maybe you're a recent entrepreneur, or you have recently moved somewhere like on your own, or, you know, you've moved to a new city, or maybe you have recently broke up with someone here. There is this sense of independence on your side. That word independence is really coming through. And with the freedom energy coming here as well, it's making me think of the 4th of July, because I'm filming this like by the 4th of July. Of course, this is a timeless reading, but if you, like wherever you live, if you guys celebrate like an Independence Day kind of a thing, or something to celebrate freedom, I don't know. And maybe this is a celebration of freedom, like somebody, yeah, there's something about that, celebrating freedom in some way. It could even be like a retirement party or something like that. Somebody's been set free from something here in this pile. So this person would very much be like jesting and playing, but still trying to kind of like figure out what it is that you've been up to and gauge your kind of reaction to them. But they might have a hard time doing it if, you know, if you've kind of been asleep or something and you're kind of groggy and you're trying to like get on a page of, you know, hearing this person's voice and dealing with all the questions that they're asking you. But I feel like you're amused. Like, I feel like you are amused that this person's calling you. You like that your friends are hanging out, having a good time. And I think that you would just kind of be giving this person information. So they would definitely be trying to get you to come out like at that current moment. But I'm also getting that maybe there's like some other thing where it's like a reunion, because there's a group of people here that like hangs out. So it could just be a social group of people. And it's like, we always do trivia night, like, you know, every single like the last Thursday of every month, you know, or we play like beach volleyball or whatever it is. I feel like there's some attempt here at a reunion. Either there's like already kind of a recurring one, or and I've been channeling that like a reunion kind of an energy here. And it does have to do with something to do with the past. So like some kind of past place that you all used to go to, hang out. Yeah. So, and I don't know, it's in this person's past. I don't know, something here. So if it's not trying to get you out at that night, like this person is trying to plant the seeds to get you to come out at another time because they really want to see you out, and they want to see you out more than once too. I just heard because you look fine as hell too. Like this person really likes it when you dress up. I'm hearing they really like when you wear a dress, maybe some heels. They like when they can see your legs is what I'm hearing. So this person, they want to see your legs. They like watching you interact with your friends. They think it gets your guard down is another thing that I'm hearing, because you might be a difficult person to, I just heard please, and I don't know if that's actually your energy or if this person just thinks so high. They definitely want to show off to you. Like that's a thing. And so this person doesn't just want this to be like a drunken call and then like you guys never talk again or something. This person like wants to impress you. They want to show off to you a little bit as well, maybe because of their independence. So maybe that's that independence energy. Something. They want to show off to you a little bit. So they want to schmooze, you know, they want to rub elbows with you. And I do think this person has some level of social anxiety. And I think that might surprise you because this person comes off very sexy, very confident. Maybe, like I said, they are some kind of social leader or a leader here in this space. But so I think they like that they can dip in and out, like in conversation, and also that your friends are there. And I think you have mutual friends. So they like that your friends are there to kind of soften the blow of the conversation so it doesn't get like super weird or super awkward. But then as the night progresses, this person can maybe capitalize on an opportunity to talk with you alone or kind of pull you to the side. Because I'm picturing the two of you like sitting at a bar, like actually having a conversation, catching up, like that really is. And this is also a person who I think, like I said, they want to show off to you. So they do want to tell you what it is that they have been up to. And I think it says a lot about their values. Like they really do want you to know that they value you. Also, I mean, I think this person has like, this is going on when a person is in like high energy. You know, they've got some kind of like a lot going on, a lot they want to show you and show off to you. And I feel like they've been looking good. This person looks really good. Like when you see them out, I know this is like what, like them drunk calling you, and they would like I said, their primary aim in drunk calling you is to get you out because this person like wants you, dude. They really do. They would ask like how you've been because I feel like you've left the scene. Either you've left this group, this place, you've left here, but like it feels like you've left on good terms, something here like that. So, and maybe not necessarily with them, but like with other people. This person would try to keep the conversation non-emotional though, and like kind of high energy, because this person actually feels very emotional here about you leaving. They actually feel really sad. And there's also a sense of this person being like separated out from the group here as well. Like there's some kind of distance from the group. So again, that could be because they're a leadership position, or this person has like already left whatever this is before you, but you still have the same like group in common. You know, take that however it resonates. But this person actually feels really sad. And I'm hearing low self-esteem. So this person could have had like too much low self-esteem to talk to you in the past and tell you how it is that they feel about you. And I feel like they kick themselves about this because this person, you are like this special cup here for this person. You really, really are. But they don't want you to know that, you know, because nobody wants anybody to know that. That's why we do tarot. Right? So like, yeah, this person, but they think very highly of you. You've always been like a very special person to them is what I'm getting. And they just, yeah, they really like you. They really want to know what it is that you are up to. And this person feels like they have some kind of higher cup to offer you. I feel like they feel like you're soulmates, to be honest, and that you are wish fulfillment, and they may want marriage here with you. And maybe they're just trying to figure out like, if you're single, if everybody's single here, you know? And like I said, I think they want to gauge your reaction. It also could be that you guys, it's maybe this person acknowledges that this group of people, like there's positive feelings here in this group of people for both of you. Like I think these are genuinely friends between the two of you. And this person kind of recognizes that as being a blessing because again, it helps like, the two of you come together, but then this person also recognizes it a bit as an obstacle because they feel like they can never get you alone, or they can never express to you about themselves and about what they like and about what they value. They want you to see them in a more of a social light. And if this person's a leader in that situation, then or if it's like work related, even if this person's like a social leader at work, it's like they don't feel like they can open up to you as much as they want to, and they really do want to hang out with you here in this like social situation, and they want to be really interesting and fun and high energy. And if there has been negative emotions here in the past, which I'm not really getting too much of, but if there has, then this person really wants to move away from that. And they also feel like you're kind of blocked off to them, and that you actually, this person thinks you have a lot to offer in terms of like a love romantic relationship, but like I said, they feel like you are maybe like a little give and a little go. Like sometimes they feel really pulled in by your energy, but then other times they feel like you're really blocked off. I think this really has to do with your energy, and I'm hearing your cycles. Yeah, like it has to do with your energy and maybe even like your menstrual cycle. I don't know, but to me, it feels like you have a lot going on right now in your external world because of some choices that you've made to be more independent in some way, shape, or form, and to help with your confidence, because maybe there's something here that you were attached to in your past, and it could be a job, it could be anything, but it was actually really knocking your self-esteem. So you've decided to do something about it here, and I feel like maybe you feel like you can't quite even talk about it yet, either because you're still processing it and you're just so busy, and you're just kind of getting through the muck and the mire of everything, or it's just that you just, I don't know, it's almost like you have a lot going on here, and this person may not exactly realize it because there could have been, oh, interesting. There could have been something that you thought was a wish fulfillment, but then it's actually caused you some kind of problem. Maybe there's actually there's some kind of like authority here that was causing you a problem. And I feel like you had to move away from this situation. And so you're trying to do that, but because you're becoming more independent, it's actually you're working on integrating things. Maybe you have a lot of eyes on you and your work, and it's a lot of pressure. And so I just feel like you've got a lot going on, man. I'm hearing I underestimated all like the time. I underestimated a lot. Like I think you started out like you were in high exuberance for whatever this was. So yeah, I just feel like you both actually have a lot going on in your lives, and it's very interesting. And this person just wants to talk with you about that. So let's get some other messages. Look, I knew exactly what I was doing is on the bottom of the deck. I do feel like it's kind of planned. Like, you know, this person is hoping to run into you, or they're talking with your friends because they have an interest in you and they know that, you know, and so it's kind of planned, but then I feel like this person just, with the drinking, just kind of gives this person a little bit of liquid courage so they can actually, do it. Make the call. I just saw, I lost myself for a little while, so maybe this person would even be telling you that. I wish I could take back my words. Interesting. That's on the bottom of the deck. So maybe this person feels like they said something, or actually with the Queen of Wands, maybe they didn't say something. That's more like what it's, and it maybe has to do with their feelings. They feel like they didn't express something. It was my fault, but I blamed you. The timing just wasn't right for us. This person would take responsibility for something here. And that includes on the drunk phone call. And maybe that's to get you out here. And maybe that's clearing the air. There is an energy of clearing the air here between the two of you, but trying to keep it fun and energized and lighthearted. So I do feel like this person is wanting to clear the air, but it's ultimately to have some kind of reunion. Yeah, and they would talk about healing. I do feel like this person has gone through some kind of dark night of the soul, and I'm hearing when you left, like actually when you left, and I don't know that this person wants this coming out, but they might tell you if they were drunk, yeah, I'm actually getting that. Okay, it's funny because as I'm getting deeper into this reading, my energy is softening so much. Like when I was starting out, I felt like my energy was really high and it wasn't like so much emotional, but like now I have like very heavy emotional energy. So I feel like after you guys have talked for a while, and like if it's good vibes and it's like receptive, and I feel like you're both charismatic, like you're interacting with the fire energy where I feel like you're just like really clicking, you're pinging the conversation back and forth off of each other really well. So I feel like when that happens, this person would actually let their guard down and they would open up and they would tell you how affected they were by your absence. I'm hearing there could have been like some kind of moment, something here where you were gone. Like they were really hoping you were going to be there for some kind of celebration or reunion or something here like that. And I'm hearing come back. Like I wish you would come back. I thought you were going to come back. Why didn't you come back? Like I was waiting for you. I feel like this person was waiting for you. Like there's an energy here of this person waiting for you, but that maybe you found your freedom here from this person, because I feel like you've gone on a journey here and this person is interested in that and they love you for that. And they really are. Like there's not like that like kind of controlling frequency or anything. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Like this person likes that. I feel like they're trying to do this in their life too. They hope you see that, but I think they might even tell you that. Like, you know what? Maybe they would even tell you that you inspired them. Like I realized the way that I was living was bullshit. And I wasn't actually happy because I was always trying to protect my ego, or I was trying to protect my job, or I was trying to protect this, or I was trying to protect that. And it was just making me miserable. It was just making me so happy. I always felt really distant and weird, like around people. And I never really knew how to break out of that. But you, in some way, shape, or form, you showed this person how it was done. And I think it has to do with like your conversation here, the way that I'm hearing the way that you talk to people, the way that you interact with people. I'm just channeling this right now. Like, I feel like this person, once they got going about their emotions, they would just be a constant drip about it. So they'd be like, the way that you talk to people, the way that you interact with people, I feel like you could be the type of person that also has friends from like, I'm hearing every area code, every like background. I remember one time somebody told me, she was like, you know, before you, I didn't realize that I could be friends with people who were older than me. And I was like, why would you ever think you're not allowed to be friends with anybody? Like any person ever. Like, it's nobody's like restricting friendships, but I know there's like, you know, a lot of social pressures from parents or I don't know, whatever. But I feel like this person would say something like, you know, the way that you talk with people, the way that you're friendly with people, the way that you interact with people, it really did show me that how restricted I was. And I want to be able to do that too, but I just don't really know how. And I've always been really inspired. And I always really wanted to talk to you, you know? And they would say that you stand out. I just heard I stan you. So maybe this person is a fan of you, like in your bid for freedom here or yeah, whatever it is. But this person would just, I feel like they would almost like sullen. I'm hearing this person would just kind of get a little bit sullen. They would just tell you how affected they were by you leaving and how badly they missed you, and that it was really a dark time for them. It was a dark night of the soul, and that they did a lot of self-reflection. They spent a lot of time alone. I feel like this person could have been journaling. I think like this person may actually like to walk in order to clear their mind or hike or get out in nature or something. But this person was really doing a lot of that in order to kind of process that. I'm hearing everything just seemed dead. Everything just seemed kind of gray. Even hanging out like with your mutual friends was like really sad because this person was just waiting for you to come back is what I'm hearing. This person may have like thrown a party or something like, or multiple, like, and I was like, just waiting for you to show up. I was just waiting for you to come, but then you never really did. And, you know, I have so much love for you, and I've always been just kind of waiting to express it. And yeah, I think they would apologize for being emotionally distant here in the past in some way because they were trying to buffer themselves. They were trying to buffer their emotions, but this person's gone through a cycle of healing, and this feels legitimate. And you have inspired this person in some way. You really have. Yeah. Maybe at first they wanted revenge. Like that's another thing that's coming through because I get Bharani energy and it's coming through on their side, and it's worth mentioning. Ketu and Bharani. In the past, they were in Bharani energy. So they could have even been in a relationship in the past here that was like not suiting them or causing them like a bunch of headaches or something. Oh, look, I love you. Like so many things remind me of you. Just being near you is intoxicating. Yeah, so Bharani is, a lot of times they're really attractive, but they're not attractive in the way that society tells us to be attractive, but still like a lot of people do like this person, they want their attention. So I do feel like this person has sexual options, and they may talk to you something about that, like maybe their past sexual options. There could be a person here from their past that like really wants revenge on them for cutting a cord or something like that. Somebody maybe potentially that they have a child with. For some of you, I know this is very specific, but this could have been a person that they did like sex work for, that maybe ended up like creating a child with them or something. And it really like, again, that left them like really lost. Some of these people are away from a child. I don't know. They would tell you something that's been going on in their life. You came closer than anyone. In the past, yeah, they actually wanted to be close to you. And I feel like that, like emotionally close to you. And I feel like that kind of threw them. I regret lying to you. There's something here about their past. And it feels like a past relationship that they regret not telling you. Even if it was just the way that it affected their mind and emotions and self-esteem. That's like really what I'm getting. There's some kind of past relationship here. And maybe they had recently reunited with this person. And it weighed on them. It weighed on their self-esteem, and yeah, maybe it was a functioning dysfunction and they took it out on you. You were the best thing in my life. My life is not as together as it seems. Yeah, so this person would kind of say that, but I feel like this person's on the up and up whenever it is that they're talking to you. So they would tell you in the past they weren't as together as they seemed, and they didn't want to drop their guard because remember, this person has some kind of like very strong ego energy, but ego just being like the personality, the way that they come across to the world, and then wanting to really protect that for normal, sane reasons. Honestly, I don't feel like this person has like a problem with that, but it's like they just really wanted to protect that here in the past, and so they didn't let on that they were struggling as much as they were. Yeah, with anxiety. And I think it is around like a Queen of Wands person, somebody they had a sexual relationship with. Yeah, and interesting. Whoa. And they thought this person was like, they thought this what is this? This is like really good energy, but it caused them anxiety. Oh, because it was appearances with the Six of Wands. And they had to figure out maybe how to break away from that. How to be independent. Oh, there's independence again, coming back up. Yeah. How to become independent from that. And you have in some way become independent here. So let me just see. This person would become more emotional. And it's not like, I don't think this person would necessarily cry. I feel like this person has kind of like a natural dignity to them. Whereas they felt like their sun was blocked in the past, yours is like on full display, you know? You've definitely left some kind of an authoritative situation, even if it's just like an authority of spirit. So let me get more messages. I just thought my intentions are pure. They would really want you to know that. But they want to like date you and be with you. I feel like this person's very serious about you. What kind of food do you like? That's totally the vibe here. Okay, this is a warning from the universe. Keep your wits about you. So keep your wits about you with this person. I'll pull a card for why. I'm communicating with my eye contact to this person. If they could get you out to this bar situation, because that's what this person fantasizes about, is like talking with you alone at a bar where you guys have pulled away from a social situation. So if it gets too much, you can actually like, because I feel like this person, they feel like you're really good in conversation and they don't want to bore you or anything. They just like it to, they want the pressure off in terms of conversation. I want to know more about you. This definitely would be this chatty, catching up kind of a conversation. I've been through worse, I'll be fine. That is like talking about what this person has been through in the past. I don't even know who I am anymore. Yeah, again, I was getting all this. I hate being vulnerable. Yes, I dream about you. I love talking with you. You're so interesting. A lot of energy here about talking with you. This person wants to talk with you. I can't be stable for you. I feel like this was in the past. This person can't be stable with you. I would say with this warning for the universe and the Four of Wands and the Queen of Wands, for some of you, this person's already in a relationship. And maybe they're telling, I would make sure this person is actually single. If they're telling you they're in a relationship and they just have to figure out, you know, how it is, let me not mother hen you, but I'm just saying there's a real possibility that this person, I just heard, is a lying piece of shit. So not for everybody, but there's a possibility for some of you that this is all kind of like a front. It's like this, the feelings are real. This person really does like you. There's a lot of attraction here. But I would just really make sure that this person's single. Not almost single, not wishing to be single, not planning on being single, single. Whoa, Looney. Hold on, let me let her in. Come on in. Hi, girl. Yeah? You have some things to say? What do you want to tell the people? What if you drunk dialed them? What would you tell them? Okay. Okay, sorry about that. So, I see you're doing well. It's really amazing to see. That's what I'm getting. I feel like you are killing it over here. And it's because you've left something behind, something that had authority over your spirit at the very least. But you could have left a bad relationship to find, I feel like you left something here to find your wish fulfillment. So this person would have like a lot of praise for that. And they would say that you're really inspiring. And I think this person is actually genuine in that. Are you happy without me? And why won't you tell me how you really feel? Because this person feels like you feel the same way about them. And I'm getting that too. I feel like this is a mutual, crushy kind of a feeling, but you've never really taken it past friendship. Maybe because one or both of you, this could be a situation where it's like when one of you is single, the other one isn't single. When the other one's ready, the other one's not ready. When, you know, because I also am getting that both of you could have had a really bad time. Like you, like I think that you have a lot on your plate at the time that this like even it's playing out in this scenario where I feel like when this person's feeling up and they're feeling energized and they see that you're doing really well, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes here that this person may not necessarily be aware of in terms of like your load, like your responsibility. And it could be one of those connections like that that's just like it for some reason it just like never seems to come together. I don't want to hurt you. Okay, I feel like this is for the douchey person, okay? That's like actually not single. They're actually not leaving their relationship. They're actually like an F-boy because I just saw this like kind of come out here. Look. Or maybe they think you're with somebody. I don't know. So I don't want to hurt you. So this could be like, I really like you. I am like trying to figure out a way to leave my relationship, but I don't want to hurt you, right? Because this person sees you as their wish fulfillment. They want to get your guard down here. So they could be strategizing. They could be strategizing with their words. But it's not something they actually feel. You're just kind of like this person is attracted to you. They do feel something for you, but it's like this, not for everybody, okay? Because not everybody's person's messed up here. And not everybody's person's in a relationship here in this group. Yeah, they might just say it's such a burden, it's such a responsibility to, like, you know, I feel like, you know, right? Like, you really want to watch those people. You really want to watch those people who are like, oh, my relationship's so hard. And it's like, okay, like, I feel for you, but you need to be, like, done living in separate houses. I'm going to see that divorce certificate. And at that point, like, if you feel like you've got to take those level of steps with a human being, I mean, maybe that's not a person you can trust. And how are you supposed to be in a relationship with them anyway? So I feel like don't dodge the big questions here with this person. And also, because some of you might be really busy, and if there is attraction here, you might be tempted to just take this person at their word. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like if you do end up going out to meet this person, because some of you, maybe you would. So this conversation is like, it starts as a drunk dial, but then it like ends up with you actually going out and being at the bar talking with this person. I feel like you guys would actually like spend some time alone here, you know? And I feel like this person would do a bit of processing. But overall, the tone is happy. Overall, the tone is, I got a lot going on. I've broken free from my past. I think you are ahead of the journey in regards of that somehow. Going, like, making your own choices, expressing a lot of freedom in the choices that you make. Maybe being very spiritual here as well. You've had some kind of like bright, beautiful new day. And this person is interested about that, wants to hear about that. In the drunk call, not in the drunk call. Yeah. So there's a lot of solar plexus energy going on here, a lot of confidence between the two of you. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number one. That's what that person would say if they drunk dialed you. If that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys. So pile number two, what would this person say if they drunk dialed you? More nonsense is what I'm hearing. This person would say nothing substantial. nothing truthful, and nothing that they actually intended on following through on, because this person is a liar and a manipulator and probably an F-boy or an F-girl. But you already seem to know that if you've chosen this pile, because this person is 1,000% a karmic. But you seem to have already learned whatever karmic lesson was tied up with having interacted with this person. You seem to have already learned it and bossed up within yourself and cut yourself free from this person's nonsense. And I'm hearing like their web of lies. And I'm hearing the song Bed of Lies by Nicki Minaj. Do you ever think of me when you lie? Lie down in your bed, your bed of lies. So you're very much onto this person. And because of that, I do just want to say, I think that if this person was sober or drunk, they would have a really, really hard time getting through to you, whether it's on your phone, like on the internet, because you have a very strong block here towards this person, energetically for sure. And I think to whatever degree you have been able to block this person on the physical, you have done that, and rightfully so. Because I can also see here that in the past, you were immensely patient here with this person. And I think primarily within yourself, where even though you didn't really believe everything that this person was trying to sell you, you kind of think to yourself, that doesn't really add up, or, that doesn't exactly make sense. Like that couldn't possibly be the truth. You would still meet this person with empathy and compassion, because first of all, I feel like that is a fundamentally core tenet to who you are. It's just your ethos. It's how you meet the world. But also you'd kind of think to yourself like, well, even if it didn't go down exactly the way that this person said that it did, or if they're fudging this little detail or that little detail, I can still hear that at the core, this is a person who has been through something and is hurting and requires, like love and compassion. And through that support, we can build like our relationship. And you thought probably that was a two-way street and that this person was healthy. But in reality, like I said before, this person is a manipulator. And I don't think that I think this person's I'm hearing like they're a good manipulator or they're a practiced manipulator. But I don't think this person uses the same tactic with every single person that they're trying to manipulate. It just depends on like that person's temperament, their personality, what it is that this person's trying to get out of them. I'm hearing their own personal weakness. And with you, this person tries to maneuver you into this like heart space energy. And I'm hearing weaponized victimization or performative victimization. So I feel like this person has told you some porkies. I mean, that really is what the way they've told you, some tall tales here where they were the victim of a situation. And they did that because this person wanted to use you they wanted you to have a certain they wanted to control your mind. That's what this person is doing. It's like basically mind control. And so they wanted you to have a certain viewpoint on a particular person or issue or stance. And they may have even wanted to try, and I don't know if like to the extent that this was successful, because I can see you're a person of virtue. You are a person of values of yourself. But I think this person was trying to use you and like whatever strength you have to bully other people, or to say mean things to other people, or just to be cold to people that you should actually be having patience with. And instead they want to basically like turn you into a little drone or a little soldier for themselves to like do their like nasty bidding, or to protect whatever their web of lies is. They wanted that to happen because you're coming off very Cancerian to me, where it's like, I think you get very protective over the people that you love. So this person would like basically tell you lies, tell you stories to make you think that they were the victim that needed protecting, when in reality, this person is the predator. So I think you wised up to this, like somewhere here along the way, you started to get stronger within yourself, and especially in regards of this air element, which is eventually what has allowed you to cut yourself free here from this person. So I'm especially hearing like pattern recognition, where you started to recognize that actually this person doesn't follow through with anything that they say. They actually have a bunch of excuses. Actually, they tell a bunch of lies. Actually, nothing that they ever say adds up. Actually, these people that they're trying to get you to like have a certain particular stance towards are people that are more like you, people that are patient, people that maybe are even like divine counterparts, or, something you're like that. This person is bad news. So another thing that this person seems to understand, that you have this take on them, and they're trying to draw you back in even harder now because of whatever this is. And I think this is something that you're meant to understand. This person very much wants a new beginning. They want another go around, okay? And this is very much reminding me of the narcissistic relationship cycle of the love bombing, devaluing, and hoovering, discard. And then they hoover you back, right? That's the last step. And then the cycle starts all over again when they want to love bomb you. So that's the stage that you're at here with this person, is you have left them and now they want to try and hoover you back in. And this person does seem to have like, I'm hearing like a blind spot to the fact that literally nothing that they say or do is going to get you to change their stance. Like I'm hearing like you've just seen too much. You can't, once you know the truth about like a situation, once you've seen everything that you've seen, like the numbers don't lie, the data doesn't lie. Like, but you know very well that this person does. So I think what's important for you to understand is that this person kind of knows this is a performer, okay? And they kind of know that this person doesn't really necessarily want to drunk dial you, but this is a person who is expending energy and resource right now currently, trying to hoover you back, trying to pop up on you somewhere. And that could be their time and their energy. And also for some of these people could potentially be money, where they're like maybe trying to, like pay somebody to tell them where you are or something. Don't freak out on that. That's an extreme circumstance. But if you know your person has the means and is capable of doing that, then yeah, that's what this person is doing. So this person's more planning on popping up on you in the physical. That's what they're planning on doing. And they want to kind of like surprise, because I feel like you're this very energy. This is your life. Your life is like very serene and peaceful and magical. And you have all your friends here and these beautiful flowers and everything smells great. Her eyes are closed. She's minding her own business. And then just like a spider in its web, this person wants to put their web in a strategic place where they think that they can capture you. So it's like you're just la-di-da, la-di-dee. And then all of a sudden the vibe changes into this haunted house kind of a scene. And this person pops out and is like, boo, got ya, right? Fancy meeting you here. So I would be very careful. In this, to me, looks like invitations to events. So I would be very, very careful what invitations to events you accept here at this time, because I actually think for some of you, this person is behind it in some way, because it seems like they've caught other people here in their net in regards to you, in regards to their lies here about you. 2 people for sure that they seem to have really caught onto that may be trying to invite you to things or find out information about you, something like that. And this third person isn't quite buying it. So maybe they're kind of halfway and they don't really know what to make of it. But I feel like this third person just kind of understand this person's nature they're asking about, and they're not really paying attention. But this person is trying to hoover you back here. Now, whenever they run into you here in like their real life, they are so planned. Okay, this person, I'm hearing meticulous, like this person has thought about this a lot. They're very curated in the image that they want to present to you. They spend a lot of time actually thinking about that. And now the image that they're trying to cut for you is going to be different depending on who you are. And again, like their schemes, how they feel like works best. For some of you, they might be trying to look disheveled to whatever degree, just a hint disheveled to maybe cause you to worry or something like that. For some of you, they want to try to appear sexy. And for others of you, they want to appear to be this weird combination of disheveled, but also sexy. And maybe for some of you that equates to like, maybe they know that you really like have a weak spot for like the grunge look, or something like that, where it does like kind of come off grungy, but it's still very attractive to you. So take that however it resonates. But I'm also noticing that her hair is like down and looks like really nice and done. She's got her crown on, her makeup game looks on point, and she's smiling. So like in their face, I feel like they want to look like really well put together, so because they want you to find them attractive. And I think for a lot of you, you're talking about somebody here who's like an F girl or an F boy, right? This was like definitely a sexual connection. But even if it's not a sexual connection, because for some of you, you're asking about like a parent, something, or I don't know, somebody that's, or like a work person, a work associate, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily have to be sexual, but this person is still wanting to attract you back in, and there's still this like magnetism, this attraction to you and to your strength and whatever it is that you have. But it's very much superficial, and you're very much just signing up for another round of love bombing, devaluing, discard, hoovering, because this person is incapable of genuinely loving and appreciating, valuing, respecting, and honoring another person. They don't operate like that. Now, for some of you, this person thinks that you really like their legs, so they're trying to show off their legs here to you as well. It's just something to be aware of. Like this person seems to have an idea of what it is that you like or what it is that could potentially work. Now, in terms of what this person would say, this is going to hold true whether or not you meet this person in the physical, which is their number one, like top priority, even if this person did try to drunk dial you, which I am already hearing, because like I said, for a lot of you have this person blocked. I think this person has tried to I'm just watching somebody like repeatedly dialing your number, or repeatedly trying to reach out to you in whatever means they have available. It's just that you have them blocked already. So they haven't been able to reach out to you, drunk or otherwise. I feel like this person has made multiple attempts to do that, and they may actually be camouflaged in the I really don't like this person. They're really conniving, and this person tries to fly under the radar. They don't have they're not respecting your energy even still, because they're trying to scheme around, they're trying to hide, they're playing games instead of just being open, because they can't be open because it would just make it so obvious that this person has a problem with boundaries, and this is a red flag. This person's like a walking red flag. And I think you do know that now, because you know that they are lying. So now let's get into, like I said, this conversation, like what they would actually say. And again, like whether it's in person or if they drunk dialed you. So this person would probably lead with a lot of flattery, because that's what this person does. And I just want to say there's a huge difference between flattery and genuine praise. This person does not have depth, so they cannot like really give you an in-depth reflection on yourself or have any true deep appreciation for you. So it'll probably all be very like superficial. And if you listen, it might actually link to the things that they want to siphon off of you, because this person has vampire energy, like very much. So they would kind of lead with flattery, and they also would, I'm noticing the color here of this patient's card, and I'm hearing the word putrid. So, and here's like where we need to talk about this person too, because if this person did drunk dial you, okay, there's like a split in how this person's coming across for me, like clairvoyantly, but then also in the cards. And it's really standing out to me. It's really strange, because clairvoyantly, when I started to first tap into this energy, this person's coming across very sad sack and almost like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. You know, his energy is like very heavy, very down. He's sad. He's talking very slow. Everything is sad that happens to him. Nothing is good, nothing is positive. You know, he's just always in that like kind of energy. Like that's how this person is coming across to me clairvoyantly. But then in the cards, that's not this person's energy at all. It's almost like the exact opposite. And I do think that it's because this person is deceitful. This person is deceptive. So on the inside, I actually think that they're much more lucid. They're much more with it. They're just trying to position like, they're trying to, again, portray an image of themselves as a victim or as sorrowful so that they can manipulate you. Now, I will say this though, for some of these people, they are legitimately experiencing an illness here of some kind. I think for some of these people, they're getting older. So they may talk to you about just, you know, getting older sucks. I have all these aches and pains. I have this new pain. I have that new pain. It's been kind of hard, blah, blah, blah. But it's subtle. It's like this person's kind of subtly trying to do that. Now, for others of you, it's like they may have developed some kind of chronic condition. For others of you, it's like a shorter, like maybe they had, the C-19, or they had the flu, or they had something that was very, maybe had them down and out for a long time, where this person felt like they were stuck or they were trapped or something like that. So, and I think this person would be trying to give you that overall impression, regardless of whether it's true or whether it's not true. It's just that if it's true, this person just is using it as leverage, to try to, again, I think it's the only card they think they can play to get you in their heart space, or to get you back into your heart space energy, because otherwise you just have had enough of this person's nonsense. But I don't even think that is going to work, because I think regardless of where this conversation takes place, I think that you are going to be very closed off to them, like very curt, very short comments, because it's like you tap into your cold empathy, where you're still saying things like that are truthful to you, where it's like, I'm sorry to hear that. That must be really difficult to deal with. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not your doctor. Like, you have destroyed me as being a part of your social setup. That's on you. So I don't feel like I owe you anything, because it's never a two-way street, right? So like I said, I think this person's leading with like this sadness. And if this person does drunk dial you, I get the sense of them drinking like alone, like being very sad, like having takeout, sitting in front of the TV. They finally like had enough to drink where it's like, whatever, like I'll just call them. I'll try to call them one more time or something here like that. But I just feel like you would navigate off the phone. Anyway, so the way that this conversation would go is this person would be trying to convince you that that you don't have the truth about them. They would want to talk about, I think they would want to talk about money. They would definitely want to be talking about giving and receiving. I think this person would actually apologize, but it's very hollow, because like I said, this person does not intend on to apologize sincerely, is to make amends, is to actually clean up your behavior. And I get the sense too that there's been enough time here where it's like this person's behavior should have changed or been cleaned up. And they might try to convince you of that. Because like I said, I just keep wanting to pull your attention back to this. This person's a performer. So they may try to convince you that they are different now, that they understand what they did to you is wrong, and that you have the wrong impression of them, either now because they've changed, or maybe they would be subtly kind of undermining you and basically gaslighting you, trying to tell you that your observations, which remember I said you've bossed up in this, like Spirit is saying, no, you have the strength here when it comes to this. They would be trying to erode all that work that you've done and say, like, you don't actually have the truth about them. Here, let me convince you otherwise. And then again, it's all part of this love bombing thing. And however, I think you've gone around in cycles with this person. So however it is that they love bomb you, maybe they do love bomb you with money or something like that. Also, you're doing really well for yourself now, like really, really well. And so this person may want to get some kind of an idea off that because, like I said, this person's a vampire. This person also wants to talk about money. They may also want to either give you money or receive money from you, but they want to receive something from you. And I do just want to say, I feel like this doesn't maybe need to be told to this group, but if you get yourself tied up with this person, even in conversation, right? This is why they say to go no contact with narcissists and you've got to gray rock them, is because any information you give them about yourself will be stored in their memory. And when they need something out of you, they know exactly what thing to say. And a lot of people say that about narcissists. They say the right things. They say exactly the right things because they don't actually deal in their own emotions, and they're really just facade managing like their whole existence. And so they hang on to they understand the levers and the pulleys, and that's all they're doing. And it's hard to wrap your mind around, but that's all they're doing is the levers and the pulleys. So this person is trying to get information out of you as to what levies and pulleys can I hold. This person, I do think, wants money. Whether it's from you or whether it's from somebody else, this person's very money oriented. They might want to find out like what kind of money you're making, what are you doing for work now, those kinds of things. And they, depending on how good this person is at their manipulation, they could potentially be very subtle about that. But I think once you see it in this person, you can't unsee it. So this person would tell you how much they love you, that they just, all the things that they think are great. But I think as the conversation progressed, like if you entertain this person in conversation and you don't cut it off early, they're going to push further and further. I think they may actually neg you a little bit, where they kind of undermine your confidence. They would say, oh, I think that you're so strong. You've been doing so well. But then they would kind of like start to say, but I noticed that it's made this change in you. Maybe they would say something about your body or like your appearance, but it's subtle. This person, I think, tries to subtly undermine. There could be some reverse psychology here. And all of that is trying to find your weak spot, trying to find your soft spot, because they know that you've changed. They know that you've bossed up, and, they're trying to, they need you in a weakened state, right? So, but it would be very subtle and kind of peppered in, and this person would very much be dialed into how it is that you're responding to see if they get a rise out of you in any kind of like way or any kind of capacity. This person's trying to steal from you, okay? And for some of you, they're trying to steal money. For some of you, they want to, this person could be so delusional that they think that they can be you. Like I'm seeing this person try to wear your skin, or try to switch positions with you in some way because they see you as a person who is like held in high esteem, who is very smart, who is very strong. For some of you, it's like they're trying to take your sexual energy. For some of you, they could be trying to have a child. Like whatever it is, it's like this person has identified you as a target because you have something shiny that they feel like they want and that they could potentially try to take from you. Now, this person would be talking about how independent and strong and beautiful and your wish fulfillment and your everything. And they would say something needs to change with us because you don't have the truth about me, because I've changed, because I'm not doing so well. Like I love you so much. And this person, I also think, because it says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. And I've never seen more of a karmic individual in my life. Like reading these cards, it's plain as day. This person is not a divine counterpart in the sense that all karmics in a way are divine counterparts, because we all have to learn our karmic lessons here. And, so in that way, these connections are also divinely guided up to a certain point. You also have your free will. That's also why it's a lesson to begin with, is because you get to see like how you act in those kinds of environments. But this person potentially thinks that this is a divine relationship of some kind and that you guys are going to be brought back together, and then it's just a matter of time. Like I think these people, narcissists, usually have an element of delusion. They don't deal in reality because they operate into it's an ego disease, like overactive ego. And so whatever flavor they use, they're in those ego defense mechanisms, which naturally protect their mind from quote unquote from seeing the truth of a situation, because it would hurt their fragile sense of self. Because there's been new research coming out that says Actually, all narcissists are vulnerable narcissists. None of them are grandiose. The grandiose narcissists are more akin to psychopaths. That's just neither here nor there. It's like a kind of, I think it came out in 2021. I think it's easy to find if you just look on Psychology Today. But anyways, yeah, so it's like, this person may think that you are a divine counterpart, but it's only because they look at you and they see that you are so strong, and this person has no sense of self and they don't reflect on themselves at all. So when they're looking at you, all that floods their mind is you. And they think if they can attach themselves to you like a parasite, that then they are what you are. And in the reality, this person has not even begun to start their journey of self-actualization at all. Regardless of what this person may look like they've achieved, this person is a thief. They steal things, whether it's ideas or energy, and I think most of all time. This person steals people's time. And I just heard sanctity as well, like inner sanctity. They steal people's peace of mind once people get tangled up with this person. So yeah, this person would say that something here needs to change, and that they've been thinking a lot about you, and that they really think that you guys are happy together. With the Four of Wands, that's like a happy marriage celebration. They would try to say, like, we could have everything. You know, we could build a legacy. We could build towards success. And I think first, there's some financial aspect of this. This person may want to collaborate with you in terms of work, or this is also giving me the energy of somebody who wants like sex work kind of contract with you, and you may not actually be that type of person. But again, it's like they want you reliant on them financially, because it puts you in a weaker position, and then they get to call the shots. They get to call all the rules, and they have to convince you that they're trustworthy, and this person in no way, shape, or form is. This person would, like, notice these two cards. They look very similar. Oh my gosh, and then the vampire. Yeah. And they want you to see them as strong or capable of contributing. This person contributes nothing. I think this person is good at putting in the bare minimum and making excuses, and kind of, I'm picturing a kid that like is trying to convince their parents that they ate their dinner, but really they just push their food around on their plate to make it look like a little less sparse. That's all this person does. And it's maddening to you, and I don't think it makes sense to you because you are very clearly a doer. That this person's like, you're putting an effort towards all your lies and manipulation. If you put a little bit of that effort towards actually doing something that you said you were doing, you might actually like that feeling. You might actually accomplish something, and then you'd actually have something, and you wouldn't have to steal from other people in whatever way you do. You know, it's, this person makes no sense. But notice like how these two cards like look very similar. So this person is trying to camouflage here with this salamander energy. But I'm also noticed, like, I'm kind of picturing her as a mermaid. So this is giving me like Ursula vibes from like The Little Mermaid. They want you to think that they want to be music to your ears, you know? Yeah, they want you to, and they, look, she's reaching up for the fruit. This person wants to take the fruits of your labor, of your struggles here, but they really just want a vampire off of it because they want the 10 of Pentacles. This person needs a change in their fortune. I really don't think this person is doing very well, but you know what that is? It's karma for this person. And this person, that's something that Spirit wants me to tell you. This person's getting their karma, in part because I do think this person is expending resource, time, energy in order to try to get back with you. But because the karmic cycle is over, Spirit really has your back in helping this person like not really even be able to get close to you. You know, like, yeah, you've got this person blocked out, but Spirit is also like, I'm watching this person walk into a very strong headwind, and their head is down. And again, all they're focused on is their feet. So it's like they're trying to walk into this headwind, and they're determined to do it. But just like this person has been a thief of people's time and energy, this is a way that Spirit is like vampiring off of and draining them of their energy, is because this person's going to waste an inordinate amount of time and resource and energy trying to get to you, and it's going to come up trumps for them. Even if this person manages to get themselves in your presence, I can see this very clearly, that you are not tolerating it, even if you're nice. This person, because they are a narcissist, they don't have genuine empathy. They can't tell the difference between somebody who's being nice on the face of things and somebody who is being genuinely in that loving, like compassionate, I'm going to open my heart to you space. So even if you are speaking politely to this person, they lie to themselves and they think, oh, see, this person, it might work. It might actually work. It's not it does not have a snowball's chance in hell of working with you, which I think means you've really healed here, pile number 2. You have really healed here from this person, but they're still after you. And maybe that's why you're here at this reading, is because you probably do sense, like maybe Spirit has made you aware of this. Obviously, like a lot of messages have come out in this. Spirit has really made you aware that this person's still like after you here in some way, and they do want to give you some kind of bullshit fake apology, Look, I want to be more than friends. That's this like F-boy, F-girl energy here. It's so gross. This person has really nasty energy. Look, I hid who I really am from you. And this person definitely did, because this person has no clue who they really are. They have no sense of self, right? That's a defining characteristic of a narcissist. And they just change it to in order to like get whatever it is that they want to get out of somebody on a short-term basis. They're in devil energy because they're not considering they do things to get like whatever short-term validation. They think that's going to end them up in like some kind of long-term success. They really just think that they can get their hooks into someone or something that's going to drag them all the way across the finish line. And look, I knew exactly what I was doing. This person hid who they really are from you, and they knew exactly what it was that they were doing. But I think that they may try to convince you that they hid who they were from you because they were sick or because they were something. It was my fault, but I blamed you. This person may come back with like a faux, because when you know, with all this information about like narcissists and stuff, it actually is like educating the germ to become stronger too. Like, so I think that this narcissist here may understand that like they need to come back with something here. Like they need to actually own something here. Yeah. And this, yeah. They may even, I feel like this person they want to get you into either a financial commitment. They definitely want to get you in conversation. I tell you, if you get into any length of a conversation with this person, you've already lost. But if also they could potentially want to get you like sexual, into some kind of sexual frenzy or something like that. They want to get you into your fire energy. That's another thing, by saying like, you know, we're perfect for each other. I don't react when people mention you, but like I'm so attracted to you. And now that I see you here in front of me, like, bleh, like, ew. Yeah, and they could have even said that like, I was afraid to contact you because I lost myself for a little while. I wish I could take back my words. It's time for me to heal. This person could also like be trying to use reverse psychology. It's like, it's time for me to heal, but first I want to tell you how I feel. They're trying to give you the impression that they are not angling for a new beginning with you and that they are actually respecting your boundaries, but in reality, they aren't. And this person has orchestrated this entire like meet cute around you here as well. This person wants to they want to like lock you away. That's what this person wants to do. They want to keep you for themselves. They want to have you small, dependent, low self-esteem, and dependent on them financially or sexually, in some way dependent upon them. And they want you to believe their version of the truth. They want you to buy their false version of the truth, because you having the truth in this situation scares them because it empowers you. This person is an enemy to the truth. And as Gandhi said, God is truth. This person has made themselves an enemy to our creator. That's who this person is. So try not to share energy with them in any way. That's what I have for you guys. Look, I just looked up and saw protection here on the bottom. Spirit is trying to protect you through this message, and I feel very protective towards you here as well. So I'm just going to get some advice. Spirit, is there any advice? Also, I feel like there's some bad stuff that happened here in the past. Oh, how fitting, the devil energy under this. With the Two of Swords, like this is you blocking this person out. This person's like a ghost here from your past. But also look at all the holes in the windows here. So things could have been very, very bad. Like I'm hearing like this could have been like a DV situation. Like a lot of fights. This person is abusive. I think they're abusive. And this person like is trying to block all of it out. It almost looks to me like this ghost is trying to like block everything out. And look, there's a rat here. Like ew. Like this is ew. You know, and the rat yonis in the zodiac are like very sociable. So this person, and they kind of remind me of like their energy, the rat yonis. It's like suburban housewives who have everything together and they're very cheerful. Like it's actually very positive energy in the zodiac, but in this kind of a, you know, situation, I feel like this person's trying to give that impression, but in reality, this person's freaking gross. Okay, so, oh look, hedonist and God energy. Remember I said this person made themselves an enemy to the creator, and they use despotism and cruelty, and they use power to control people. This person is playing God. They think there's no power higher than themselves. I don't care what this person says. This person, I'm sure, can spin a yarn, okay? I don't care. This person's a performer. I don't care how convincing they are. This person is full of shit. So there really is no authority in their life beyond themselves. And this person's in this hedonist energy, pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. So if you connect with the positive elements of this, positive spirituality, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself, right? Then I feel like that's going to put you in a better place here with this person. And look, Avenger energy, desire to balance the scales of justice. This is a karmic. Desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. And yes, you need your justice here in this situation, but also this person has plenty of other victims. There's 3 of them just here in regards to you, and just their lies, trying to keep their lies together in you. And that's the thing about these people, is in order to keep their lies going, they have to exponentially harm others. This person has other victims. So you not being associated with them, don't legitimize this person, because you're a legitimate person. And if people see you around this person, people think this person can be trusted. And I'm hearing then you karmically share the load of people getting tangled in this person's web, and you don't want to do that. So anyways, pile number 2, I feel like I've gone on here for an age. If this person drunk dialed you, that's a bad scenario. I feel like they're trying to get a hold of you. They would be in and out. And that to me is speaking of this like love bombing, devalue, discard, hoover cycle. It maybe would be very sexual. It's very selfish, whatever this person has in mind. They think that it's love, but it's really betrayal, because this person is a fool. And they want a new beginning here with this sun energy, and they see you as being like the end all be all here. This person wants to go around another cycle, but for you, I feel like the cycle is done here with this person. So do yourself a favor and keep this person the hell away from you. That's what I have for you guys. Pile number 2. If that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys. Pile number 3, what would this person say to you if they drunk dialed you? Okay, so I'm already getting much different energy than pile number 2, thank God. So immediately I'm hearing the sounds of laughter and giggling, and it's very much giving like 2 naughty little children who are supposed to be going to bed, but instead they called each other and they're hiding under the covers trying to muffle the sounds of their voices and their laughter. And even though they're supposed to be like winding down and trying to get sleepy, instead they're having this very high energy, raucous, humorous conversation, talking a million miles a minute, talking about literally everything under the sun, cracking jokes, making each other laugh. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? I saw so-and-so. Did you see that? Like really just talking about everything. And I honestly feel like that's the connection. That's the energy here between yourself and this person, because you are extremely, extremely conversationally compatible here with this person, maybe to the degree of it being problematic, because I feel like you might have this connection where even like your friends, when you guys kind of get going, like the volley I think is really good. So maybe you're like very witty here with each other as well, but I almost feel like maybe you even like annoy other people because they're like, oh my God, like when these two just get going, it's best to like leave them alone because they just won't stop, you know? So maybe you can kind of like annoy other people because you just click, dude, you just click. And even like on a sense of humor level, I feel like you always make each other laugh. Like you really just have the same sense of humor. And I feel like this is one of those connections too, where it's like after you met each other, you would each kind of think about each other during the day. Like you'd have an experience and you'd be like, oh man, I wish so-and-so was here because they totally would have gotten that and laughed and I wouldn't have had to explain anything. Or, you know, it's like, if something like that happened, you would just like automatically text each other, or you would call each other probably often because the two of you just really, really, really like to talk to each other. You are extremely compatible. There's obviously a lot of attraction here between the two of you, but I mean, even just on a friendship level, you are insanely, insanely, compatible. Now, in terms of this drunk phone conversation, so I definitely feel like that's the tone that this drunk conversation has, like, especially like in the beginning. And that tone like carries on, like coasts for quite a while, even though that I feel like this connection has stagnated and there definitely could be water under the bridge here in this connection where one or both of you have felt very hurt here in this situation, either because of like a betrayal, a third party situation, some kind of decision or judgment call that was made here. There definitely could have been water under the bridge here. But despite that, I feel like the strongest energy here in your connection is just this insane like kind of compatibility. And you really do coast on that for quite a while before the conversation actually starts to like turn and you start to talk about real things, you know, start talking about, you know, I'm hearing like talk about us, talking about relationship stuff, like whatever has gone on, whatever this like situation here has gone on, in order to honestly try to maybe revive this or like get past this stage of stagnation. And I feel like the masculine energy here especially wants this because he wants to very much bring this into like the material, onto the material plane. He wants some kind of a new beginning. And I'm hearing him like in the conversation with like, okay, so can I text you like tomorrow or in a couple days? Is it fine like if I text you when we're both sober? You know, because I know we've had like this conversation and we dipped right into it, but I don't want it to catch you off guard if I text you after this because I want to keep the conversation going, you know, kind of a thing. So now, I do feel like it's the masculine energy that is more inclined to drunk dial this feminine energy. And I bring that up because I know that the vast majority of my viewers are women, but just in case you are a masculine energy that's here and you're asking about this feminine energy where you definitely have this connection that I'm describing here with the feminine, then I just want you to know that I still feel like this is your pile, because with her energy, I really don't think like if she actually did drunk dial you, even though I don't think that she's inclined to, I don't think her energy would fit into the other two piles. I think you're still like drawn here to understand her energy here, because like I said, let's just talk about this really quick, because this feminine is not inclined to drunk dial this masculine, like at least not during this time of her life, because she is zapped. I feel like she's got a lot going on here. There's a lot of things that are pulling on her energy. She needs a lot of sleep during this time, and honestly, I'm hearing that she is recovering from some kind of a betrayal here in her past. Maybe there was like a judgment that was unfair, a decision that really didn't go her way, or honestly, it could have been a betrayal. But whatever this was that she has to heal from, it's relational. Now, it may have been from this masculine who betrayed her. There was a third party situation. I'm hearing like tomfoolery. He was just like fooling around, keeping things from her. It could have been. It honestly could have been. And she's having to heal her heart from that. But it doesn't have to be this masculine energy. And it doesn't have to be a romantic interest here at all. But again, whatever it is that she's recovering from, it is relational. She could have lost a family member through death. It could have been anything over here. And honestly, we've seen this energy before where there's just this climate around this feminine energy where I feel like karmically speaking, she's learning how to break out of this like victim martyr stance, like in her relationships, because she's too giving in her relationships. And so she may have just had like a spout of that where, you know, she got something like really kind of took it out of her. Now, not only that, this is a feminine who's trying to level up on the material. So I feel like, yeah, I'm hearing finances, like she's trying to really get her finances in order, but also she's building some kind of a nest, some kind of a security blanket, a nest egg. She could be there's some home energy. She could be spending a lot of time at home. I feel like she's going through a fairly introverted stage. She could be trying to buy a home or get a home or maintain a home, something like that. But that's why, I mean, it's like she just needs a lot of healing, a lot of alone time. She could be going through a fairly introverted phase. But I just feel like this is a feminine who does not have really the disposable time, energy, or income to have a night out. And if she does, it's like once in a blue moon, and she probably really goes all out. You know what I mean? But she just doesn't have that at this point in time. Now, this masculine, though, like I said, I think he's the one who's going to drunk dial, and it's very much giving me pile 1 vibes, where he's probably out already, kind of enjoying himself. Yeah, I'm hearing she's always on his mind. Like, she's never far from his thoughts, because this feminine, like, according to this masculine energy, this feminine is wifey. And I'm literally seeing a picture of, like, you, like, I'm assuming that you're the feminine, like the feminine being in this masculine's phone literally as wifey, like that's her name in there, regardless of what has gone on here in your relationship, regardless of if you've dated, regardless of if you've broken up. I feel like this masculine has this feminine, her name is in his phone, her name is in his heart as wifey. Like, he just knows that she's the one. And like, I'm hearing she's endgame. This is like very much some kind of like a long-term journey. He wants something substantial. He does want something long-term here with this feminine energy, and she's just never far from his thoughts. So it doesn't take much to push him in the realm of wanting to reach out to her, wanting to call her, wanting to contact her, even though things have kind of like stagnated. So again, I feel like he's very much out, and when he calls her, he could potentially be trying to get her to come out and like hang out, because like I said, this masculine energy wants to get this out of the stagnation stage, out of the realm of fantasy, and into the material realm. But when I feel like in this pile, when he's trying to get her out, there could be something like material. I'm almost picturing like bait, you know? So I don't know if he knows things that she likes. I kind of get that. And it might be food. But I don't know. It's something like, oh, you better come out. You better come hang out. I already paid your cover charge. It was $20. Like, you better get out here, you know? Or we're at your favorite restaurant. I already ordered your favorite appetizer. It'll probably be out in 10 minutes. So if you want to eat it while it's hot, you better get here, you know, or like, I already ordered your favorite drink, or I still have that shirt you left at my house, and if you want it back, you better get up here. Otherwise, I'm giving it to the first stranger on their way out the door. Like, you know, there could be something like playful, but then also like something tangible, that this masculine energy wants to give her, like whenever they're out. And it could be just like something small, or just to buy her like a snack or something like that. But I do feel like, yeah, I feel like he wants to spend money on her. He wants her to know that he's serious, and he wants to plant the seeds like kind of in her brain that he's stable, that he's mature, that he's somebody that can be relied upon. So before this conversation takes a turn to this more like serious tone where, you know, maybe you guys are talking about decisions that were made and how each of you were feeling at different points here in this relationship. Somebody was feeling judged, somebody felt like hurt or betrayed or let down, and then your relationship really stagnated. And now then you have the conversation around like, okay, so what are we going to do about that? Is this relationship going to end? Are we going to start it up again? Are we going to go out on a date? Are we going to level things up? Like, what is it that we're going to do here in this space? Because I feel like this conversation very naturally is going to go down that road, conversationally speaking, especially the longer this conversation goes on. But before that part of the conversation happens, I feel like this masculine energy actually, spends some time here talking primarily about himself, but he's doing that because he really wants to show off to this feminine energy. Like, he is really trying to strategically place himself in this light of, you know, he wants her to think of him as being very strong and very sexy, maybe very athletic, or, very capable. Whatever this masculine energy feels like, that's their strength. It's something that makes them unique. Whatever that is, I feel like they're trying to really showcase and highlight that through the stories that they're telling about themselves, where they kind of position themselves in this protagonistic energy. And I'm getting the image in my mind. Oh, okay, so this makes sense. So I'm picturing Peter Pan and Wendy when they're in that cave and they're getting ready to save Tiger Lily. And Peter Pan is like, hey, Wendy, watch this. And he takes his hat off and he starts to throw his voice like all around the cave. And then he starts messing with Captain Hook and he's messing with Smee, and he's saving the day, but he's like very nonchalant about it. He's not really breaking a sweat and he's having a good time. He's mostly just doing it for his own enjoyment. He's clearly not panicked or afraid or even like really exerting himself all that much, right? It's like he's very much showing off in this very casual energy. I feel like the stories that this masculine is telling and his energy during this part of the conversation is very much like in that energy, like where he's laughing and it's coming off very like he's just so casually kind of strong. And remember, I was telling you, I feel like this masculine energy is like out and about. Either they're out at a bar or they're like just hanging out with their friends. But either way, I feel like this masculine energy is around friends. And honestly, there may be a location change like here. If this conversation goes on for a long time, like they were at the bar, but then they're going back to one of their friends' houses. I don't know. But I feel like these little side conversations that this masculine's having like with his friends or like the people that are around him I'm just picturing him kind of like shouting certain things like at certain times. He's still very much aware that this feminine energy is like listening to him. So he's still, you know, he's still trying to be like suave and cool, you know, and things like that. Now, if you follow me over on Patreon, I've been saying that I keep getting these flashes of Peter Pan and Wendy. And usually when that happens, it's because that energy is trying to come into a reading, but I just don't know why or how or when it's going to happen. But I definitely feel like this is the reading that energy is has been trying to come through for, because the dynamic between these two people is very much Peter Pan and Wendy. So now moving over to this feminine side here of this conversation, because she's coming off very Wendy-esque, and she's very like, this feminine energy is very conversational too, like very chatty. Again, like I can't stress this enough. I feel like you're very conversational. The conversation is very fluid. You're both kind of motor mouths here, like around each other. There's never a dull moment in this conversation. But for her side of it, I feel like this is a feminine who actually, if you really pay attention, if you really listen, she doesn't talk much about herself. And I think she comes by that pretty honestly is what I'm hearing. Now, Wendy, like her whole thing in that story is she's like, I have to grow up tomorrow. You know, she's got to leave the nursery. So she's got to grow up. She's got to level up. And I remember I was saying, I feel like this feminine energy, she's been working on her finances, working on her home, kind of trying to level up. This is a person who understands that they are in a transition period to a different phase of their life. They're at the very least, they're preparing if they're not already moving into like the next stage in their own development. And even though they might be sad, this feminine energy of like leaving behind some kind of like innocence or the previous stage that they were in, whatever that was. Because remember I said this feminine's healing, like they might have had to leave something behind here. Even though that makes them sad, they're still very much ready to do it, and they're ready to grieve that. And I feel like the mentions that she has of herself and what she's doing, probably they are like the cues that you have that she's actually handling this pretty well and she's serious about it. Because it'll probably be something of like, you know, well, I have a test tomorrow, or I've been studying for this test, or, you know, well, I have to work in the morning, or, you know, I've been working this job, or, you know, I stopped, you know, like it would be, she would give you the hint that she's engaged in that, in leveling up, you know, in certain aspects of her life. But I feel like this feminine, for the most part, talks a lot about her friends. Like, I feel like this is a very social kind of a feminine who actually does value her friends, siblings, like relationships, that kind of a thing. And just like Wendy in that movie, because it always strikes me that Wendy doesn't really have a bad bone in her body. Like, she can be a little bit of a bossy, but she has that older sibling thing of like, you know, just it's only me and the dog that like do anything around here, like, you know, and make sure that everybody is taken care of and in bed and everything. She very much has that like older sibling kind of like an energy, but she's still very well natured. She's a motor mouth the whole time. And she never has a bad thing to say about anybody else. And even though a lot of characters take some low blows at her, her response is always like she laughs, like, because she's so good natured, she just kind of like laughs. And then she realizes that they kind of took a swipe at her, and then she stops laughing, and she kind of has to process it because it's just not in her nature to take those swipes like at other people. And even like when they almost shoot her down, she's still tells Peter Pan like, no, like she wants him to forgive them, you know, for doing that. And that goes to this like victim martyr kind of energy that she's working on how to break out of. But so she's talking about her friends, but it's not gossip, you know, it's very much like in a positive light. And I get the sense that there's like friends that, or siblings even, that this feminine and masculine have in common, or like they know similar friend groups, or they know each other's friends, or, you know, something here like that. So it's almost got the quality of her catching him up on like what certain people have been up to, but it's in like this very positive, good-natured light, you know, so-and-so finally did this thing, you know, and they've been up to this, and you know how so-and-so's been talking about doing this other thing forever? Well, I think they're finally going to do it because they actually got this certain thing, and I just couldn't be happier for them, or, you know, whatever. And also, I feel like this feminine also talks a lot about certain things that are going on, like kind of around town, like maybe there's a new art show, or there's a new movie that's out, or there's a new bakery, and she went there with her friends, and oh my gosh, they have the best cinnamon rolls. And I'm hearing like textures and colors, like that's another thing. Wendy tells stories, right? And good stories. So I feel like this feminine energy has a very lively way of communicating, where she very much kind of can put you in an experience where she's talking about, and it smelled this way, and the colors were that way, and I felt this way. Like, she's really, really good at speaking and communicating and handing off the baton, I'm hearing as well. Like, very good conversational manners this feminine energy has. She's very considerate, doesn't like hog all the space here. And like I said, I feel like there's a good banter. There's a good wit. There's a good joviality here going on here between the two. So it's a very fluid fluid, like really happy go lucky kind of a conversation that's going on here. Now, getting back to this, then like from that space, like I said, I feel like it goes into where you guys are more talking about your relationships here. But I want to talk more about this like Peter Pan, Wendy kind of dynamic that I'm seeing going on here between these two, because I feel like that's where we get this judgment energy that's coming in. And I'm picturing this being Pluto, which rules over this like transitionary energy. But with the judgment energy, I feel like there's decisions to be made around transitions. And that's where I feel like we've got karma coming into this connection. Now, I don't feel like this is a karmic connection. If you watch my channel, you know I have like very strong opinions on karma. Karma to me is just everything that ever happens to you ever is karma. Like it just can't not be. That's what karma is. It's a neutral building block here of this world that we're always adding and subtracting from. And it's a very neutral kind of a term. But I understand what people mean when they say the word karmic, right? I actually feel like this is a high level soulmate connection, but I do feel like there is karma being worked out here through this connection individually for both of these people, but there's also a potential to take a path here together. And this connection to me, in terms of their togetherness, this is coming off very all or nothing. Either this relationship is going to end and it's going to become nothing, or this is going to go all the way to marriage. It's like very all or nothing, but it has to do with how each of these two people meet their own destiny energy, meet their own karma, and the decisions that they make here in this space. And it's like each of them have reached their own crossroads kind of a moment, and it involves the other person. Does that make sense? And I do feel like this is past life related, okay? So like I was saying, this masculine has very like Peter Pan, you know, kind of an energy, and I'm hearing arrested development. And it feels like very much in his relational space, like having to do with Venusian energy. So like women, his conversations with women. And I think like this is actually somehow related to just like having a committed long-term relationship. And somehow, some way that is linked also to conversation, which is throwing me because like I said, I feel like these two have very, very good conversation here between the two of them. But I think this masculine is afraid of being found inadequate, like on a conversational level, but this is like over the long term, you know, like having mature conversation, being able to talk about like different and interesting topics. And in that way, I feel like this masculine energy almost has like demonized adulthood, where they think the enemy is like, wearing like, oh, well, when you start, you know, wearing khakis and wearing beige and going to the same place every single day, like that's really the kiss of death, because of course it's stagnant and then you don't have anything else to talk about and then you're boring and of course everything kind of comes crashing to an end. No, like I feel like this masculine, they're coming off a bit like an anxious attachment style to me, where they're really afraid of things settling into the more longer term, the stability phase of a relationship where things are more predictable. They feel like inherently that's the kiss of death, and it's just not true, you know? And I'm getting the image in my mind, like, so I'm saying that this masculine energy has like Peter Pan qualities, right? But that Peter Pan, that like being in a child and wearing green tights, that's like on the inside, okay? Because I'm actually getting this picture in my mind of Matthew McConaughey in that movie Dazed and Confused. Do you remember his character from that? Ugh, it's so awful. He's like a grown man and he just sticks around like that high school town so we can go to all the high school parties and basically like predate upon all of the high school girls. And it's really gross and pathetic and sickening to watch, but he thinks he's so cool, but he really isn't. And so I feel like Spirit's highlighting that because yes, this person has this like, you know, Peter Pan as kind of a quality, but I feel like I'm hearing like, all right. Like, you know, maybe this person has like kind of a Matthew McConaughey kind of a flair to him. Oh my gosh, remember he did that other movie called, it's not called Arrested Development. It's called Failure to Launch with Sarah Jessica Parker. And it's the same thing. It's this like failure to launch kind of a vibe to it. So yeah, this person could come off very like Matthew McConaughey, very like, I don't know, like not a care in the world, but also Matthew McConaughey is pretty hot. Like he comes off very masculine. He's, you know, got a banging body and he's got like scruff and like a swag to him, you know, like, so this person like kind of comes off that way. And that ties into this feminine energy's karma. Now, talking about this masculine energy's karma, okay, this masculine's gonna have to grieve something, okay, around this Peter Pan energy. And it has to do with his leveling up. So he has a choice here because meeting Wendy, just like Peter Pan meeting Wendy, meeting this feminine energy is an impetus, it's a spark because she is maturing. She is on the precipice of maturing, where Peter Pan, I think, was older than her, and he decided to go to Neverland. He didn't want to grow up, and he tries to convince Wendy to stay with him in Never Never Land, right? But Wendy wanting to go home. She's determined to grow up to face her own maturity, right? She's already on that track. And I feel like this Wendy inspires this masculine, encourages this masculine to take up the mantle of his own manhood, you know, to actually level up, you know, to get him to get on that, to merge onto the highway as well, you know, in this area of his life. And if he can do that, then he can merge with her life. You know what I mean? So the karma here on this masculine side is he's got a decision to make. And I think, you know, if he's not approaching this with wisdom, and if he doesn't really understand what's going on here, he's going to think his decision is, am I going to commit to Wendy? Can I do that? Am I going to be in a committed relationship? Or am I going to continue to be very non-committal? And remain in this like state of arrested development and it's probably very dopamine driven, right? And being like very sexually strategic or something here like that. When in reality, this is a test of Venus. Venus rules over values. What are your values? Well, who do you want to be? What do you value in yourself? Okay. And then start to make that a reality in the material world. This masculine needs to get out of his head in terms of like a daydream of leveling up and of this perfect life that he's going to have. He needs to start taking actual steps in the material world. He needs to start pointing his ship in that direction and building up momentum one step at a time. And if his values align with actually growing up and maturing and doing better for himself, he's going to naturally find himself more along this track of Wendy. Because remember I was saying like Wendy, there's something about it where it's like she just doesn't have the energy and maybe the disposable income to be going out all the time because she's trying to make her money and her energy work for her in the material world. I think this masculine's kind of in a similar boat where, you know, he shouldn't be partying. Like he could make his money work for him a lot better. He could, you know, be a lot more responsible or something like that in order to level up too. He's just very naturally going to kind of, you know, get over here on her journey. That's his karmic lesson here. And depending on which way he chooses, he's either going to have to grieve the loss of Wendy and his like marriage partner here, his highest and best partner in this life. He's going to have to grieve the loss of her, or he's going to grieve the loss of his childhood, which is that's the healthier. He's in that state, you know. And I could probably wax poetic about this, you know, because also I think this masculine, it's just a lie to think that you can choose not to grow up. Life comes at you, time marches on. You can just only choose not to meet it, which is just going to be putting yourself in a weakened position. That's the only choice you have to make in this situation. But anyways, I digress. So moving over here to Wendy and her karmic lesson, like I keep saying, you know, she's in this kind of victim martyr sort of an energy. And with this judgment card, it says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And I feel like Wendy is actually too inclined to see that here in other people. So she has a choice to make here in regards of this masculine. And Wendy is actually this feminine energy here. I'm just going to keep calling her Wendy. You know, is actually very mature and very developed in terms of her relational space. So this is a higher level karmic lesson for her, where she is fit to judge this masculine's fitness. Like, is he capable of this long-term relational energy? Because just like this Matthew McConaughey on the outside, Peter Pan on the inside thing, I feel like there's something external about this masculine that is giving I'm grown and mature vibes. Like, obviously he's reached a state of sexual maturity, so his body is probably looks like the body of a grown man, you know, and probably signals that he's like masculine and mature. But he could be older than her. Or he could have a leadership position, but there's something here where, and remember I was saying about the stories he's trying to tell and this light he's trying to position himself in of being strong and capable and sexy. Well, if those are just stories, if they're not backed up by actual changes in the material world, things she can see, this masculine can't come back empty-handed, you know, things she can actually see here. And he can't just be like hiding it in order to be like sexually strategic, you know. He's got to say, no, like, you're my person. I want to be with you. I'm making these changes. She has to be able to actually see that. And if it's not there, she needs to see that he's, you know, in this Peter Pan energy. And she can still understand that everybody's got their own unique path and challenges, but she needs to decide whether or not she can go on the path with this masculine or if she can't. Because remember I was saying this could potentially go the distance. Now, it's like if they continue to go on with each other, I feel like it's going to go to marriage. But the trouble is if they fail their karmic test, so if this masculine does not actually level up, he's not serious about it, and then Wendy doesn't learn her karmic lesson and see that he's still Peter Pan and make her decisions accordingly, then they could potentially end up in a marriage that ends in grief, right? Because this masculine has been sexually strategic. And then this feminine is right back to this heartbreak energy where she's been victimized. Or she's now faced with the choice of, is she, you know, victimized, or does she have to martyr herself, you know, for this marriage to be with a person that, you know, something here like that. And But if both of them are learning their karmic lessons, this is going to be a very spiritual marriage that changes each of their perspectives here on the other person, for this masculine, on what it means to actually be grown up, and that you can do that and you can have healthy routines and be responsible and still not be boring, that kind of thing. So there's definitely something larger playing out here for both of these people. And just to finish this up, I do feel like this masculine would apologize for something here. He would want to like make an offering. There could, like I said, there's this like very fun, flirty, fluid atmosphere here. Probably a lot of jokes about this feminine being wife material. He could like, declare his intention to propose to her, that he feels like she's his everything, she's his partner. And this masculine could potentially be saying that he's got a lot of love for her and he's been spending some time alone here. And he's really grieved the loss here of this connection and loss of her. But you've just got to make, like, this feminine has got to make sure he's telling the truth about that. Okay, so now I want to try to wrap this reading up and tidy things up here a little bit for you, because I know the psycho-spiritual aspects of my readings can be a little heady and hard to follow sometimes. Now, in the field of psychology, there's a basic tenet that says behavior does not exist in a vacuum, meaning there's always a reason why we behave the way that we do. Our behavior satisfies some kind of a need. So the field of psychology really tries to help us as individuals understand our own behavior and sometimes the behavior of other people by forensically going back and saying, what's the root cause of this behavior? What is there a need that needs to be met? Like, there's something else going on here driving this behavior. And that's the place of power. That's where we can understand a behavior. That's where real change is made, right? So in these readings, I very much have that attitude where, yes, we can talk about the mundane happenings of things. And I feel like a lot of readers do a really, really good job of that. I actually feel like my niche and what makes me different as a reader and what makes me good and the value that I can bring to the table is having that ability to kind of trace this back, to try to figure out what's going on here beneath the surface in terms of like a psycho-spiritual perspective. And I know they can get really heady to follow sometimes, but there's people who dig it and who get it and who understand it. And I do understand that because of that, my channel is a little more niche and I'm okay with it. It's just an extension of who I am and what I bring to the table. Now, that's especially true when we have got karma involved. Okay. And we do on both sides here. And karma has this effect. I always like to compare it to a choose your own adventure storybook. Remember those from when we were kids, where it's like, all right, if you want Johnny to eat the grape, turn to page 197. If you want Johnny to spit in his own shoe for no reason, turn to page 9. Depending on what decision you make at that crossroads, the story is going to unfold very differently for you. Now, we've got that moment happening on one side and then also happening on another side. So I got this comment the other day, and I'm just trying to kind of simplify this. I got this comment, and to me it did feel like this person was taking a bit of a jab, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So they said, your readings always start off so good, and then I always end up so confused, and I'm like, is it good or is it bad? Now, the thing about me that I will say till the cows come home is that I do not value, nor do I fit into the mold of having a black and white perspective on life or trying to funnel things into overly simplified categories such as good or bad. That is a determination you are going to need to make for yourself. But also, one of my favorite quotes of all time is from the Bhagavad Gita 3. And it's where Krishna says to Arjuna, he says, cold and hot are just things that touch your senses. Happiness and not happiness, they are not steady. They come, they go. So just don't worry about it, Arjuna. Trying to apply these qualifiers can be helpful to a point. You have to decide what's right for you in any situation. And so in these readings, my intention is always to be a guide. I can get in here and I want to familiarize you with the lay of the land. I can show you the landmarks. I can show you what to look for, because I'm reading for a lot of people. And frankly, these karmic moments that I'm describing here, that I'm relating to this choose your own adventure story. Are you going to turn to page 167 or are you going to turn to page 9? Well, everybody here is going to make a different decision, and then the landscape is going to change. I can't tell you if it's good or bad because I don't know what decision you're going to make. Every single one of you is dealing with a different masculine, frankly, who is on a different journey depending on who they are, and who is capable of different things and a different level of maturity depending on who they are and how they've met their own life. What decision are they going to make? Right? Because then your options are going to change here as well. I can't tell you if that's good or bad. It depends. That's why these are karmic tests, is because you have to do it. There's no way around it. You have to do it. You have to be meeting your own life. And we have these tools, and I'm always quoting Ram Dass, where he says, we're all just walking each other home. I can hold your hand to a certain point. You can hold mine to a certain point. But sometimes our journeys are our own. We have to be making our own decisions. We can help each other try to understand things because we all have different strengths and we've all gone through different experiences. And that's what I'm trying to do around this channel is I've studied psychology, I've studied religion academically, but also my whole life. It's like a feverish thing for me. Like I consume a lot of content around these things. And I can use that lens to describe what I'm seeing going on in your cards in the hopes that it helps you navigate this situation as best as you can, but you're rowing the boat. So I can't tell you if this is good or bad, right? And there's a lot going on here beneath the surface in terms of like these psycho-spiritual concepts. If you want to further your understanding and continue on the mantle here, you could look up Peter Pan syndrome, in masculine energies. There's information on that online. It's like a thing, You can look up victim martyr stance here for a feminine energy because there are psychological studies that can better help you understand the lay of the land and meet your own karma, whichever side of this is on. But really, that's what I hope you take away from this reading is this is how this conversation would go, because there's clearly a lot of compatibility here. There's a lot of joviality. There's a lot of love. And there's, I feel like this feminine energy especially wishes that the compatibility, like the conversational compatibility, counted for more than it maybe necessarily does here in the relationship, It's like, of course she would choose him. If he's healthy, if this is a healthy masculine energy who's not stunted in any way, of course she would choose him. He's the easy choice, right? But if he can't be relied upon, then she's just shooting herself in the foot, metaphorically speaking, And she can't do that anymore. That's why it's her karmic lesson. So this is the quality that goes on here, but there's something so much deeper that's going on here as well. So let me just pull some cards here. Now that I have spoken. Sometimes, I don't know, it can be really hard to do this kind of a job because you do get so much, feedback from a lot of different angles, and it can be hard to see your own way through the storm. But again, that's my own karma. It's my own karmic lesson, Okay, so what else? Anything else that would be said? I regret lying to you. We will be together again. My life is not as together as it seems. You know what? This masculine energy may well have lied here because, again, he's got some non-committal energy going on that he could have been trying to cover up and seemed like more, strong and marriage material than he actually is. That is a possibility. But I think in terms of lying, you both could have been lying about how deeply you felt, about how raw and real you felt here at certain aspects here in this conversation, or not conversation, in this relationship, something here like that. I'm hearing lying by omission. So yeah, it's another thing. You were the best thing in my life. Finding out the truth crushed me. Oh, look, I regret lying to you came out again. The timing just wasn't right for us. That is untrue. Okay? This is just a misunderstanding, this an ignorance. And I think this masculine energy would be more inclined to say something like this. The timing just wasn't right for us if he's not picking up the mantle, because it just means he's not taking accountability. He's not taking responsibility for his own actions, his own responsibility, and saying, no, I'm going to continue doing this, even though the universe has decided this is your exit ramp, should you be willing to take it, right? So the timing, it didn't fit this masculine's timing if they're saying something like that. I hope you can forgive me one day. It was my fault, but I blamed you. There we go. There we go. I feel like that's higher self energy. I knew exactly what I was doing. I hid who I really am from you. And I want to feel that way again. I replay there's a lot of nostalgic energy over here, but that's his karma. That's his karma. If he's moved away here from this feminine energy, he's got to grieve the loss of her. He's got to know who she is or should have been. He has to know that it's him. He missed the boat on this energy here. I replay our conversations over and over. I feel you, even though we're apart. I'm becoming a better person. I mean, I could keep going. I can't stop thinking about you. I couldn't let you get close to me. I bury myself in work to forget you. Yeah. I feel like all that stuff would start pouring out, especially in the part of the conversation where you're actually getting very real. And they might even say that they have been afraid to contact you because they know they messed up here in this situation. They know they did. They know they messed up. And this to me looks like a very specific moment in time, where it's like if you miss the boat on this very specific moment in time, this judgment energy, then there's a divine judgment that's brought upon the situation. You have to turn to page 167. The story has to play out as though you turn to page 167. And, you know, everybody here's on their own life path. There could be some of you who do have the opportunity to reunite here, but for some of these masculines, I feel like they just kind of missed the boat. So anyways, I'm going to stop talking. That's what I have for you guys. If that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.